here, yes.
Things are so precious.
Yes.
This is what people spend billions to conserve.
Yes.
So we must do something.
Yes, yes. Yes, no traces and yes. And Your Excellency, this is also another type of elephant. There's only one head, only one tusk, and in the lower side. So the elephants are very diverse and they are very good also environmental indicators. That changes through time. Yes. Yeah. Your Excellency, we can also be able to reconstruct the paleoecology based on the different kind of animal footprints that we have. We have for different bats here. We have hippo, and we have different kind of animals here, bovids and hominid footprints here that come from Ileret. Yes. And we are actually constructing a center in which the community will run, showcasing these hominid footprints to tourists, evolving our journey. So same thing to here, the elephant. So yes, this is a reference collections that we use for studying the fossils. Yes. And here, Your Excellency, we also have Swedes or pigs. Pigs are also another most diverse animal that we use it for dating, actually, because they extinct at a certain time frame. So we can be able to see the different fossils through time where they extinct. These replicas represent some of the warthog, yes, yeah. Yes. Yes. So these ones also we just replica for the dinosaur, and dinosaurs have been found in Lokitang in Turkana Basin, 65 million years ago. Yeah, so that is that we have here. And here, Your Excellency, are in hippos or hippopotamus, and this is actually one of the animals that I would say, quote unquote, resisted evolution. Like they have remained consistent, almost the same for a very long time. 2.5 million years ago, the present hippo. Not significant morphological differences in terms, yes, or biological difference. Yeah, this is a short-necked giraffe. Yes, that existed at a time, and it not
it had a
shorter neck than the present-day giraffes. Because if it had a bigger neck, actually, if it had a longer neck, the giraffe with this kind of head, it could not have survived. Yes, yes. Yeah, so this is also been found here, and yeah, this kind of giraffe also existed here that you can see. And this is just for the modern giraffe for comparative purposes. But this is another form of giraffe, very small, called okapi. This is now only found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We don't have them anymore. Okay. Yes, this giraffe. Yeah, this is the ancestors of the modern day buffalo that we have, and actually very big horns, even that one over there. Very huge horns, see, and they might have lived in open grassland, of course, the forest environment through time.
So this is the modern one?
No, this is actually still extinct. This one, Your Excellency, it's very long. If I can show you, you can see the size of the horns, like how far.
I think that one. Yes. Oh, that's
how big it is. Yeah. Enormous. That do not exist today, buffalo.
We need a better way
to preserve. Yes, Your Excellency. Exactly.
This is too precious
to stay. Yes. And this is just for teaching purposes that we compare. And then this section, Your Excellency, we have all the different bovids that we have, bovids and antelopes. They are good environmental indicators because of the ecomorphology. And we can learn the difference from the horn profiles and the cores through time and the way they are. Yeah. Your Excellency. So this is the collections that we have, and all through here. So thank you so much for taking time to visit our collections, Your Excellency. And this represents actually not only part of the museum collection that we have, that's only Kenya's heritage of documenting human origins by ancient biodiversity and climate change, and position as a very good global position for being Kenya as the home of human origins. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you
for visiting our collections.
When you talk about a good place,
in our
We met
We
in
meet
Germany.
again.
Yeah, I met in Germany at the Burgerfest Festival.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Karibu
yes.
tena, Your Excellency.
Very good.
Karibu sana. I'll run you through what you love most.
Yes.
Turkana boy.
Yes.
Turkana boy.
So this is the original.
This is the original, Your Excellency. This is the original. Yes, and this is a bomb-proof room. It's very secure.
Even if you bomb this place, it will remain.
This will remain. This will remain. Yeah, this will remain. Yeah. So you've always talked about Kenya being the home of human origins.
Yes.
And here we are. We have Turkana boy, the most complete human ancestor ever recovered in the world. You see the cranium there. You've always seen the replica. Tom, is the replica? The replica of the Turkana boy. You've always held that a number of times. But now you can.
This is the original.
This is the original. The original. We don't know whether the guy died like this, but we just imagine. But like I said, Your Excellency, this is the most complete human ancestor ever recovered in the world. You can always hold this, but not this one, Your Excellency, kindly. Yeah, so Turkana boy dates to 1.6 million years ago. And we know Homo erectus were the first humans to leave Africa and occupy other parts of the world. So they were the first tourists of the world. There were no visas those days. Yes, there were no visas. They could go all over the world. Yes. Yeah, but again, this is the most common human ancestor ever recovered. The ribs are there. You can see. You rarely find the ribs in the fossil record because they're very fragile. The vertebrae are there. You can see. But we know it's a boy. It's a young individual because the bones were not fully fused. Bones fused at the age of about 18 years old. Yeah, the boy was between 8 to around 12 years old at the time of his death. We believe he died in a swampy environment. And we can always tell that based on the area where it was discovered. Yeah, maybe he was just by himself, and there was nobody to pull him out of the swamp, and that's why a lot of the skeleton was recovered, almost 90% of the entire skeleton. We know it's a boy largely because of the pelvic bone, the way the shape is, because we know females have different shape of their pelvic bone because they give birth, and males have a different pelvic bone. Again, also. Alongside this, we have many other species of the same genus, Homo erectus, have been found in Turkana, all over the country, again also in the Baringo Basin. We have Ororin from Baringo, Tugen Hills. Yes.
Ororin.
But can I say, Your Excellency, Ororin is not here. It's not here, unfortunately.
Where is he?
So if you can help us find where he is, we would really appreciate it. He's somewhere in this country.
Oh.
Yes.
Is it?
And that is the oldest fossil ever recovered in this country. It dates to around 7 million years old from Cape Solomon.
From Cape Solomon, yes.
Yes, yeah.
So where is it? Where is he?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Is somebody holding it?
Ororin was discovered around 2000 or thereabout.
Yes.
And it was discovered by a team led by a French researcher and a Kenyan researcher. And at that time, those two were at loggerheads with the NMK, with the mainstream NMK. Yes. Yeah, so they went out there, they recovered Ororin. It was kept somewhere in Abanga, in Nairobi. There were all kinds of rumors as to where it could be. But to date, we don't know where it is. There was a time NMK DG those days tried to ask this gentleman, but it was threatened. So we all, our former CEO. Yes, it's a long story. It's a long story. But if you can kindly help us through the Baringo governor, locate it, and I think with your support, we should be able to locate the Ororin and bring it. It belongs here. It belongs here. It belongs here.
So, but somewhere in Kenya.
Yes.
In Abanga.
In Abanga. Yes.
Hostage.
I hope I'll be safe.
After You're safe.
Thank you.
Safe.
After giving this information. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So Your Excellency, the story of human evolution began when this little cranium was discovered by Mary Leakey in Rusinga Island. This date to 18 million years ago. It's a very primitive ape that was preserved in a site in Rusinga Island. And when this was discovered, this opened up a lot of research in Kenya. We began to see now different research programs and projects across the country. And that led now to the discovery of the Turkana Boy many years ago, 40 years ago, in fact. Then again, also the discovery of many other fossil remains, ranging from the famous. You've read about the famous Zinjanthropus.
Yes.
This is the same genus and species as Zinjanthropus. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
It was first found at Unveiling Gorge in Tanzania, and this is the original. And this lived 1.6 million years ago. If you look at this, if you were to compare this and the rest, this looks very different because they fed on very different diet. Okay. Very tough diet. They had what we call megalod teeth, very big molars. Okay. They had a very big chewing muscles. Exactly, okay. Exactly. And that's what they refer to as the nutcracker man, because they fed on very tough diet. None of us here have this because our jaws have become very small over time. We don't require a lot of time to chew your rice or chapati, so we've lost the sagittal crest. We've lost
what did this used to help?
This is where the muscles attach themselves there.
Okay.
Those large chewing muscles, they attach themselves there. We've lost that over time because our jaws have become very small. We don't eat very processed foods, very, very, very soft foods, so we don't require those large chewing muscles. And that's why, Your Excellency, you see even our kids. Yes, even our kids, none of our kids have that true teeth. Why? Because the jaws have become very small. There's hardly any space on the jaw to contain the true teeth. Yeah. That's what you
contain there?
That's true teeth.
Oh, 32.
Yes.
So they are getting fewer.
28. Most of our kids are 28 teeth. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we are still evolving. Yeah, we are still evolving. Yeah. So we are still evolving. We don't know exactly whether they'll go to 26. I don't know. We don't know. We can only speculate. Yeah. So these are the originals against the replicas. But again, also, Your Excellency, alongside all these discoveries, Kenya is also the home of human innovation. We have the earliest stone tools ever recovered in the world, and this dates to around 3.3 million years ago. Yes.
Oh,
so Kenya, we are the dawn of innovation. No wonder M-Pesa and all other things. So this were they've been recovered in the Turkana Basin. They date to 3.3 million years ago, and they were meant by one particular hominin we refer to as Kenyathropus platyops. Yeah. So again, also from the Turkana Basin. So
Ethiopicus.
Yes, Ethiopicus. Yeah. So the Turkana Basin and the Baringo, there are three basins. That's the original.
This is the original.
Yes. So the Turkana.
This is
the replica.
The replica.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The Turkana Basin, the Baringo Basin, and the Ologesile Basin in Kajiado. And the Lake Victoria Basin. Those are the four main basins from where all these fossils have come.
Ologesile here
is in Kajiado.
The one Bliki had set up something there.
There's a museum there.
Yes.
There's a museum there. We have a museum there. So there, that site is very famous for the archaeological materials. There are some wonderful tools that were meant.
We came here for the lesson on the evolution.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So indeed, like you always say, Your Excellency, Kenya is the home of human origins. South Africa, they claim, but their record is very fragmentary. Ours is very complete, step by step. We can, if we were to lay out the fossils that are in these cabinets, there will be no space here. And our record is very complete, and it goes with also innovation. Yeah, their record begins very recent. Ethiopia the same. They also claim to be the same. I mean, origins. But again, their record is very fragmented. Ours is very, very complete, very complete, and that's why we agree with you. Indeed, Kenya is the home of human origins, and when you are coming to Kenya, we are coming back home, where we all began as humanity.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can be here for a long time.
I know. This is a very nice story.
It's very nice. Yeah.
So in here you have.
But again, you see, we have no space. Maybe our DG would have spoken about that. Our chair and our Madam PS, we have no space. So we are really crying for space. Yeah, we are crying for space.
We need more space.
We need a lot of space, and really, you've seen the force upstairs. There's nowhere to store them. Yeah, there's nowhere to store.
Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
We will do something about this.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Well, good to see you.
You're the one who's talking?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, enda huko. I prefer you. That's it.
Check. Welcome, Your Excellency. My name is Samson Malaki.
How are you, Samson?
Fine, thank you. From the National Museums of Kenya. Allow me to take you through a photographic exhibition. These are photographic exhibition that highlights the 8 UNESCO World Heritage Site. Yeah, so there is the fellow. So this was another World Heritage Site, the Lake Turkana National Park, which is in the Lake Turkana Basin. We have Sibiloi National. This is already inscribed in 1997 and 2001. But for this, the critical thing about this one, it has been listed on the heritage danger list.
Yes.
And UNESCO are actually helping us to delink it, but also we are seeking your support in delinking the same, sir. Yeah. This was another World Heritage Site, which was inscribed in 1997, Mount Kenya National Park, and extended in 2013 because of the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, and it has various flora and the fauna. Excellency, sir, this is old Lamu town. And the critical thing about this old Lamu town, it was inscribed in 2001 because of its intricate infrastructure, because of its building typology, using the coral reef, sir. Your Excellency, sir, this is the sacred Mijikenda Kaya forest, which was inscribed in 2008 and is actually the identity of the Mijikenda community. And is actually current use because it's basically a shrine. Yes, sir. Your Excellency, sir, this Kenya Lake system in the Great Rift Valley, which was inscribed in 2001, and it include the Sibiloi National Park, and we also have the Lake Elementaita, we also have Lake Nakuru, and by virtue of the different flora and fauna, this is one of the reasons why it was inscribed in the year 2001, sir. Your Excellency, sir, this is Fort Jesus. It's actually one of critical architectural pieces, architectural towns in the country, inscribed in 2011, and is very, very critical because it was built by the Portuguese in the 1593 and is still standing. And the critical features about this is because of its infrastructure and the building typology. Your Excellency, sir, this is a Thimlicho Hinga archaeological site, which was inscribed in 2018. It was used actually as a fort for both the communities and the livestock. And the critical thing about this is 4.5 meters high, and the thickness of the walls were as big as 3 meters for security purposes. This is in Thimlicho Hinga, in Migori. Yes, sir. Yeah. So lastly, this is the reason why you are here, sir, the historic town and archaeological site of the Gedi, which has been inscribed recently.
I hope it is fenced.
And it occupies 45 acres currently.
We should fence it. We should do a wall around it.
Yes, sir.
You did your wedding there?
The only wedding we did was done with them.
Yes.
It's the women's spot. So I took my wife to the women's spot.
Okay. Wow.
And it has a well, and it's also known because of its intricate architecture in terms of these are typical layout plan. And it was done in such a way that it was a communal place and a city with distinct streets and typologies, the panels, and of course the palaces. So thank you, sir, for your time, and God bless you.
to welcome His Excellency with a warm clap. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Most welcome, sir. I will humbly request that we remain standing as I invite Sheikh Hassan Ali Amin and Reverend Patrick Kuchio to lead us in a short word of prayer before we progress with the rest of the program. Sheikh Hassan, karibu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu mwenye neema zote katika ardhi yake na sisi waja wake, tuomba kwamba hafla hii ya leo ni ya kufanikisha malengo yetu. Tuomba amani, weledi na afya njema kwa viongozi wetu, na awape bishara nzuri na hali ya utulivu katika nchi yetu. Mwenyezi Mungu tunakuomba sisi waja wako katika msimu huu wa Krismasi, tupe amani na fanaka. Huo ni msimu wetu wa furaha kote nchini, na utuelekeze katika amani, upendo na amani. Ya Ilahi ya Azizi ya Karim, ya Ilahi ya Azizi ya Karim, birahmatika ya Rahman Rahimin, ya Rahman Rahimin.
Our Father, we are grateful for the gift for this day and for the opportunity you've allowed us to witness this great celebration. We acknowledge that you've been our help in this past and indeed be our hope for years to come. Thank you that you brought us together as a nation for a time like this to celebrate the inscription of the Gedi National Monument, as we also commemorate the 40th anniversary of our boy. We are grateful that you rule and reign over the affairs of nations. Thank you that you rule over the affairs of this nation. So we come to Kenya to you, listen to the west and the south, asking the Lord, may your glory cover this nation. This nation has put us, Lord, from one level to another level. I pray for your blessings for the citizens of this nation, Lord. We pray, Lord, that we may know your visitation, we may know your help in every regard. Thank you for the nations that are represented here and for the families that are represented here. I pray your special blessing upon us. We surrender ourselves to you, asking that you will begin and end with us. In Jesus' name we pray.
May we take our seats, please? Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. Your Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Ms. Rebecca Miano, Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife. Principal County, Your Excellency Neil Wigan, British High Commissioner to Kenya, and all members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Owen Baya, Member of Parliament Kilifi, Dr. Louis Haxthausen, Regional Director, UNESCO, East Africa, National Museum of Kenya board members, management, all invited guests. Your Excellency, sir, with your permission to begin this program, allow me to invite the Director General, National Museum of Kenya, Professor Mary Gikongo, to come and make some welcoming remarks. While she's on her feet, she'll also take the opportunity to recognize the board members. Why don't we put our hands together as we welcome Director General to kindly come and give us some welcoming remarks. Tupige makofi tena akija tafadhali. Karibu.
Your Excellency, sir, Chief, the governors and cabinet secretaries present, our principal secretary, I'm riding on the protocol provided. Good evening. Your Excellency, it is immense pleasure and pride that I welcome you to National Museums of Kenya. National Museums of Kenya is a state corporation established by the Act of Parliament the Museums and Heritage Act 2006. NMK is a multidisciplinary research institution whose role is to collect, preserve, study, document, and present Kenya's past and present cultural and natural heritage. This is for the purposes of enhancing knowledge, appreciation, respect, and sustainable utilization of these resources for the benefit of Kenya and the world for now and posterity. Your Excellency, Sir, National Museums of Kenya is bestowed with noble task of nurturing and inspiring heritage tourism as a niche product. So far, partly illustrated by over 400 gazetted sites and monuments of national and international importance. For instance, NMK received over 1 million visitors in 2023. This tapestry of research of rich cultural and natural heritage is what defines us, making us unique. The preservation of the early Swahili civilization, entombed in the historical town of Gedi, has been a long journey. Distinguished guests, we witnessed the icing on the cake when Gedi was inscribed as Kenya's 8th UNESCO World Heritage Site on 29th of July 2024. Thanks to its outstanding universal value, this would not have been possible without the kind of support from the Regional Office for UNESCO, Kenya National Commission for UNESCO, among others. But there is more to be done to maintain the integrity of Gedi and other World Heritage Sites to meet the attendant obligations under UNESCO Convention. Your Excellency, I would like to appreciate the government's support to discharge this mandate. This includes, but not limited to, basic operations, research and development grants from National Research Fund, Tourism Promotion Fund, and Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund. The support from different arms of the government has enabled successful implementation of different conservation efforts. Indeed, it is important to note that the government provided funding that enabled the construction of Fort Jesus seawall and a buffer zone that salvaged the World Heritage Site from imminent collapse as a result of sea level rise. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, in keeping with our multifaceted disposition and the quest to meet our mutual interest and unwavering commitment to fulfill our mandate and core functions, we have an immense portfolio of collaborations and partnerships which range from education, research, the hotel industry, among others. I wish to appreciate the CEOs and the VCs who are here today. We are deeply convinced that together we can do more for the sake of our heritage, preservation, and its sustainable utilization. Your Excellency, our achievements, as I have partly highlighted, are made possible by a team of highly trained, specialized, and dedicated staff. Your Excellency, these are men and women who have won prestigious international awards and honors for their outstanding academic contribution. Allow me, Your Excellency, to mention a few of them. We have Dr. Esther Kioko, who received a presidential award in China because of the good research she has done. Allow me also to mention Dr. Frederick Manthi, who has been made part of members of American Academy of Sciences. Allow me also to mention a young lady from Kilifi who has done us proud. She has received an award from British Ecological Society as being one of the best ecologists in Africa. Oh, you want to see them, sir? Let them come. Two of them are here. Okay. This is Dr. Manzi, and this is Dr. Esther Kioko, and she was also recently acknowledged or given the honor of being an associate professor by the University of Nairobi. Thank you. Your Excellency, I'm sorry that Dr. Maria Fungomeri, she is still carrying our banner in the United Kingdom. She is attending another important conference, so she is not with us today. But we recognize her in absentia. Your Excellency, allow me to say something. That this trajectory of our scientists performing very well, nationally, regionally, and internationally, is somehow threatened, and badly so by the consolidate workforce and weak staff retention capacity. We have had exodus of our staff moving from National Museums of Kenya to other research organizations abroad and also within Africa. We have some of our scientists in South Africa. And from 2017, it is almost 20 years of exemplary service and resilience against a backdrop of increasing and unflinching weight of inflation and other economic dynamics. We would therefore highly appreciate a higher increase for our staff. Your Excellency, sir, as I finish, allow me to invite my board chairman to say hi and invite other board directors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Excellency. I've written a speech, but I left it down there because of time. So I'll put it aside. So members will excuse me for that. But nonetheless, let me introduce the board members. Would you like to come in front here very quickly so that you... Okay, just stand where you are. We have, there are 8 of them. Those are the board members that serve and run this institution. So from there, we'll start with Kiprop. You want to say your name? Just shout. Chris Food, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yasmin. Adan Nuri, thank you very much. John Genderitu, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ruben. Stephen Gambare, he always says from Masabit, thank you very much. Thank you, Kiprop Lagat. So those are the board members. Now, I will not say anything, but there's something we missed out, Your Excellency. We have a very big appetite in this country for land, which lies fallow. From these so-called developers, they have been a very big challenge to us, and we really need help on that. We need to secure our sites. You heard we've got over 400 sites. That's a very massive, Nini, and it's a big, big budget. So we'll keep on coming to you all the time. Please don't grow tired. My name is Edwin Abonyo. I'm the chairman of National Museums of Kenya for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obonyo. Your Excellency, they've mentioned 8 UNESCO heritage sites, and for the benefit of us to just appreciate which those sites are, we'll have a short video presentation before we invite PS Umi to come and take over the program. So let's have the short video presentation, please.
Kenya, a country where history, culture, and nature intertwine, home to 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, each represents a unique chapter of our shared human story. Let's journey through these remarkable sites, celebrated globally for their significance to humanity. The Lake Turkana National Parks were inscribed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1997. Its 3 national parks, particularly Sibiloi National Park, is home to remarkable paleontological treasures, including early human remains and archaeological evidence that have placed Kenya on the world map as the home of human origins. Alongside the ancient petrified forests in Sibiloi that date to around 11 million years ago, to vital habitats, the crocodiles and migratory birds in both the central and southern islands, the sites have profoundly shaped our understanding of human evolution, solidifying Lake Turkana's significance in the story of humanity. Mount Kenya, inscribed in 1997 and extended in 2013 to include the Lower Wildlife Conservancy, is Africa's second highest peak. Renowned for its glaciers, unique ecosystems, and profound cultural significance, it stands as both an ecological treasure and a spiritual marvel. Recognized in 2001, Lamu Old Town is the oldest and best preserved Swahili settlement in East Africa. Its architecture, shaped by Bantu, Arab, Persian, and European influences, reflects 700 years of continuous habitation. Lamu remains a vibrant center for Islamic culture and traditional crafts. Inscribed in 2008, the Kaya forests are sacred to the Mijikenda people. These forests, once fortified villages, are revered as ancestral abodes and reflect the deep spiritual connection between the Mijikenda and their environment. Inscribed in 2011, Fort Jesus was built by the Portuguese between 1593 and 1596 to guard Mombasa's strategic port. Designed by Italian architect Giovanni Battista Cairato, its layout reflects Renaissance ideals of proportion and harmony. Over centuries, it witnessed conquests, trade, and slavery, evolving into a museum today. Inscribed in 2011, the Kenya Lake System, comprising Lakes Bogoria, Nakuru, and Elementaita, is a sanctuary for birdlife, including 4 million flamingos, and a vital sanctuary for endangered species. Its diverse ecosystems and volcanic landscapes provide a vital link in the African-Eurasian flyway system. Thim Lich Ohinga, inscribed in 2018, is a 16th century settlement in the Lake Victoria region. Its unique stone enclosures, built without mortar, served as fortresses and community spaces for early pastoral societies. The site offers insight into ancient migration and settlement patterns in sub-Saharan Africa. Inscribed in July 2024, Gedi is Kenya's 8th UNESCO World Heritage Site. The inscription of Gedi is a momentous milestone in the nation's commitment to preserving its heritage. Once a flourishing Swahili city from the 10th to 17th century, Gedi showcases remarkable urban planning and architecture, a testament to the centuries of vibrant maritime trade along the Indian Ocean. Its inclusion as a UNESCO site underscores the global significance of Kenya's rich coastal heritage and its enduring legacy. From the ancient human remains to stunning natural wonders, Kenya is truly not only the home of human origins, but also a hub of innovation and a beacon of ancient civilizations. As we honor these extraordinary treasures, let us pledge to protect and preserve them for generations to come.
Beautiful country we have here, and hopefully now that we're getting to the Christmas festivities, we'll be able to visit some of them. Your Excellency, allow me to now invite PS Umi Bashir, the PS Culture and Heritage, to take over the program. Let's welcome her with a clap. Karibu sana, Madam PS.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, PCS, present, CS present, Governor Kilifi, Mungaro present, ambassadors present, and MPs present, and the staff from NMK. Hamjambo. Mine will be very short. I want to welcome the ambassadors who have partnered with us in this journey, Your Excellency. And probably also to mention that we have with us the ambassador of Oman present with us, here with us. Maybe she can stand and wave to us. Thank you, Your Excellency. We have representation from the Chinese embassy. Probably you could stand and wave to us. Thank you. Your Excellency, we also have the French ambassador here with us this afternoon. We also have the German ambassador, Sebastian, here with us today. High Commissioner, British, is also here, the High Commissioner, Neil Wigan. We have UNESCO here, and the main core of activities is here for that. We have the Australian High Commissioner with us today. Please, maybe you could stand and wave. There he is. Thank you for making time for this. So, Your Excellency, just to point out, we are the 5th in the whole of the African continent when it comes to UNESCO World Heritage Sites. South Africa is the first with 12 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We have Ethiopia, which has 12 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We have Tunisia, and finally, we have Morocco. They each have 9. And then us, Kenya, we have now the 8th one. So I think we should clap for ourselves. You are doing so well. Your Excellency, welcome to NMK, and we're very happy to have you here because you're the first sitting Kenyan president to visit the National Museums of Kenya. So thank you so much, Your Excellency. That aside, Your Excellency, I'd like to wish our Turkana boy the 40th anniversary. Happy birthday to Turkana boy. But it's not the year that he was actually born, it's the year that we found him as Kenya. So happy 40th birthday to him. Your Excellency, today we're also going to acknowledge the migrated archives from the British High Commission, and that is the main reason why the British High Commission is here. I'd like to also say, Your Excellency, that eCitizen is working perfectly, and we are raising the number of tourists thanks to our partnership with the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. And we have been having so many tourists coming here, and thank God eCitizen is active. So, Your Excellency, with those few remarks, I'd like to now call British High Commissioner Neil Wigan to come and make his remarks. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President, Your Excellency, Prime Cabinet Secretary, CS, PS, Governors, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. So I have to say this is, for me, very exciting because I first visited Kenya in 1977, and I still remember seeing the Gedi ruins on that first visit. And it's something that gave me an interest in history, which I still have today. So to see them recognized like this is something truly impressive as part of Kenya's contribution to global history and culture, which we saw set out before. But I'm here today, as the PS said, because as Britain, we often talk about our shared history with Kenya. And so today, just a day after Kenya celebrated its Day of Independence, Jamhuri Day, it's an opportunity for us to make a concrete contribution to the study of Kenyan history. And so I'm therefore formally handing over today digital archives from the colonial era kept in the British Archives to the Kenyan National Archives and handing them over to His Excellency. And so these are archives which date from 1907 to 1968, so the full era. They consist of 2,658 files, over 300,000 images, and to give you an idea of what that means, that takes 5 hard drives and almost 10 terabytes of data. And that includes files from the Ministry of Internal Security, from the Office of the Governor, and from other colonial government institutions. It includes files documenting the Mau Mau period. It includes intelligence reports and summaries of African political parties, associations, and leaders. So we're handing over some of the most sensitive files on the most sensitive issues on the most sensitive times. And as well as handing over the files themselves, we're also handing over the technology, a server, software, and laptops to the Kenyan National Archives, so that Kenyan researchers and historians can use these archives to tell Kenya's history properly. This is part of our commitment to be as open as we can be about our shared history, including its darkest moments and its most difficult issues. We aim to engage and to listen and to build our ties with communities impacted by colonial rule. His Majesty the King set the example during his state visit last year, including during his speech at the state banquet in front of His Excellency, but also meeting privately with individuals, communities, and families particularly affected by British rule to understand their stories and what really happened. And he's instructed us to deepen our links with those communities. So this year, for the first time, we've attended commemorative events for Dedan Kimathi, Koitalel Samoei, and other heroes of Kenya's history. We're working to do more, to create an inventory of artifacts of Kenyan which are held in the UK, to donate books to the Koitalel Samoei Memorial Library, to allow communities like the Nandi community to have virtual tours of exhibits held of their history in the UK. And last month, I handed over medals to 20 Kenyan veterans of the Second World War. We are doing this because we believe that to focus on the future, we need to address our past in this open way. My Prime Minister and His Excellency, the Presidency, agreed in September to renew our partnership in the future, our strategic partnership for the future. And today's handover underscores our dedication to strengthening those ties in 2025 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to call, before I call UNESCO, Dr. Louise, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Japanese and also the Royal Thai ambassadors who are here with us today. Sorry for the oversight. Probably you could stand and wave from wherever you are. Thank you so much for making time. There's also the ambassador from Eritrea who's here with us today. Thank you so much. So, Your Excellency, I'd like to quickly call upon Dr. Louise Haxentop, the UNESCO regional director, who helped us with this journey of getting us the certificate and the main reason we are here today. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, Honorable Cabinet Secretaries P.S. Umi Bashir, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride and honor that I stand here today representing UNESCO to mark this historic occasion, the official handover of the World Heritage Certificate for the historical and archaeological site of Gedi, Kenya's newest addition to the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage List. Gedi's inscription as the 8th World Heritage Site in Kenya is a testament to the nation's rich history, cultural diversity, and unwavering commitment to preserving its cultural and natural heritage. It joins a distinguished group of Kenyan sites already inscribed on the World Heritage List. I had planned to read them out to you, but we have just seen this short video where you saw all the sites mentioned and presented. And each of these sites represents an invaluable chapter in Kenya's narrative, showcasing the interwoven heritage of its people and its landscapes. Your Excellency, the recognition of Gedi is particularly significant. Nestled in the heart of the Kenyan coast, this ancient Swahili town exemplifies the interplay of diverse cultures and civilizations over centuries. The architectural remains of Gedi speak of a once thriving urban settlement embodying a legacy of ingenuity, trade, and resilience. Gedi is more than its built architecture. It is a living testament to the stories and values of the people who once called it home and the communities who now safeguard its legacy. Its preservation honors the past and also connects us to the present and inspires future generations. Article 11 of the Constitution of Kenya recognizes culture as a cornerstone of the nation's identity, heritage, and development. This constitutional commitment reflects the deep respect for the vital role culture plays in fostering unity, resilience, and sustainable progress. It is within this framework that today's milestone is especially meaningful. UNESCO takes immense pride in supporting Kenya in achieving this milestone and stands ready to work with the government of Kenya to ensure the sustainable preservation of this historic an archaeological site. This commitment extends beyond conservation. It encompasses the empowerment of local communities, fostering resilience, and promoting inclusive socio-economic benefits through cultural heritage. The preservation of Gedi must resonate with the needs and aspirations of the communities. UNESCO advocates for a people-centered approach, empowering local residents, women, young people, indigenous communities alike, to become custodians of this heritage. When heritage serves the people, it becomes a driver of identity pride, but also of sustainable development. As we celebrate Kenya's achievement in ratifying the core cultural conventions, I invite you to ensure the ratification of the 2001 Convention on the Protection of Underwater Cultural Heritage, a lot of underwater cultural heritage here in Kenya, and the 1954 Hague Convention for the protection of cultural property in the event of armed conflict, and that serves more broadly for the prevention of protection of cultural heritage faced by threats including climate change. Kenya's commitment to the other convention has already demonstrated its leadership and dedication to cultural preservation. Ratifying these two conventions will further solidify that commitment on the global stage. The inscription of Gedi represents Kenya's growing global recognition in cultural preservation. It is a reaffirmation of the nation's leadership in upholding the values of heritage, identity, and shared humanity. With this achievement, Kenya reinforces its position as a leader of cultural and natural diversity conservation, inspiring the region and the world. In closing, let me reiterate UNESCO's commitment to Kenya and its cultural heritage. As we celebrate Gedi today, let us renew our shared dedication to safeguarding the past while building a sustainable future. The journey ahead requires collective action. Governments, communities, the international community must come together to ensure that our heritage is not only preserved, but also leveraged for the benefit of all. Together we can ensure that Gedi historical and archaeological site, like the 7 sites before it, remains a shining example of Kenya's cultural brilliance and a source of pride for generations to come. Congratulations to you, to the people of Kenya, and thank you for entrusting UNESCO to work this journey with you. Asante ni sana.
Thank you so much, Dr. Louise Haxensen. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So I'd like to call upon Governor Kilifi County, where Gedi Ruins is situated. And we also have the area MP for Kilifi North, where Gedi National Monument is. So I'd like to call upon His Excellency the Governor to come and make a few remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President, the Republic of Kenya, and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, all protocol observed. Let me give 2 minutes to my colleague, the area MP for Kilifi North, where Gedi Ruins is situated, to say jambo.
Thank you, the President and distinguished guests. My name is Owen Baya, a Member of Parliament for Kilifi North, where Gedi is situated. And it's an exciting time for us in Kilifi and Kilifi North, and that we are receiving this honor that we continue to host and continue to sustainably grow Gedi so that it becomes that World Heritage Site that we always want to be. Kilifi somehow has 2 of those sites, the Kaya and I think it's the only county that has 2. And I hope there will be a 3rd one very soon, because I think we have more heritage in Kilifi. So I want you to look at the Portuguese mosque in Malindi, the Vasco da Gama pillar. You know those things. Yes, give us a third one for Kilifi. Thank you very much, Governor. I thank you.
Thank you. I'll be very brief. I know. Thank you very much. It is with immense pride and profound gratitude that I stand before you today as we celebrate a momentous milestone for Kilifi County, Kenya, and indeed the world. The inscription of the historic town and archaeological site of Gedi town by the UNESCO World Heritage as a UNESCO World Heritage list is a testament to our rich history, cultural heritage, and the enduring legacy of our ancestors. It is a day of pride, recognition, and immense opportunity. On behalf of the people of Kilifi County, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the State Department for Culture, the Arts and Heritage, and the National Museums of Kenya for their tireless efforts in achieving this honor. The inclusion of Gedi on the World Heritage Sites list is a tribute to your dedication to preserving Kenya's heritage and showcasing it to the world. The historic town and archaeological site of Gedi is a unique window into our past, offering invaluable insights into the Swahili culture, trade networks, and architectural ingenuity that thrived along our coasts centuries ago. Its designation as Kenya's 8th World Heritage Site solidifies its place not only in our national narrative, but also as a global treasure to be celebrated, studied, and preserved. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, this achievement is not just about preserving history. It is also about creating a sustainable future. The designation of Gedi as a World Heritage Site brings with it opportunities for tourism, education, and community development. Kilifi County is committed to working with the national government, UNESCO, and all stakeholders to ensure that the potential of this site is fully realized for the benefit of our people. Tourism, as we know, is a key pillar of Kilifi's economy. With the inscription of Gedi, we anticipate a surge in cultural and heritage tourism that will bring in investments, job creation, and opportunities. For local businesses, however, this growth must be balanced with a steadfast commitment to conservation and sustainability. As custodians of this heritage, we must ensure that Gedi remains intact for generations to come. This celebration also calls upon us to recognize the communities that have lived around Gedi and safeguarded its significance over the years. Their role in preserving this site is invaluable, and they must be at the forefront of any plans for its development and management. Inclusive growth and community empowerment are not just ideals, they are imperatives. Your Excellency, as we mark this milestone, allow me to affirm Kilifi County's commitment to fostering partnerships that align with our shared vision of cultural preservation and socio-economic growth. Together with the national government and international partners, we will prioritize the development of infrastructure and programs that enhance the accessibility, visibility, and educational values of Gedi while safeguarding its authenticity. In conclusion, today is a celebration of the past and a call to action for the future. Let Gedi's story inspire us all to protect our heritage, nurture our identity, and invest in the promise of a brighter tomorrow for Kilifi County, Kenya, and the world. Thank you. Asanteni sana.
Next, Your Excellency, probably I'd like to also acknowledge the team, the NMK team that represented us, led by Professor Bunga. I don't know if any of them are here today. They really worked hard, Your Excellency. Please stand. They really, really pushed and lobbied for us to get this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Please clap for them. Thank you so much. You may sit. Your Excellency, probably now is an opportunity to also mention that we have ratified the UNESCO 1970 Convention as a country for repatriation of stolen artifacts, the import and export of these artifacts. We had never ratified it as a country, but finally we did, and now we have a seat at the table. So that is one of the reasons why you see now countries, repatriating our artifacts back home. With those few remarks, Your Excellency, I'd like to now welcome Waziri Rebecca Miano. Karibu sana, Waziri.
Your Excellency, the President, the inscription of Gedi as a UNESCO World Heritage is historic and significant for tourism in Kenya. We are here to witness one more reason why tourists should visit Kenya in their numbers, especially because we have a target to increase our numbers to 5 million by the year 2027. I call upon all Kenyans to be the very first to visit Gedi after its inscription, and also all the other heritage sites. Any country worth its tourism salt is known for its museums and heritage sites, and we are proud as Kenya. And also the Kenya Wildlife Service, together with the national museums, are joint core focal points for management of the UNESCO heritage sites. KWS and the DG is here, are managing 3 sites, while the others are under UNESCO. It is my pleasure now to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who is also the Cabinet Secretary for Gender, Culture, the Arts, and the Heritage. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, government and public officials here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, I have also abandoned my speech, my written one, because sometimes a story is better told when it is natural. But let me just start by saying that the stars are aligned. The stars are aligned because if there is somebody who is at home today, is the President of the Republic of Kenya. He's a scientist by training. And today, as I walked with him, as we were being shown around, I listened in awe and with a measure of envy. He was so comfortable in the corridors and asking the relevant questions, away from the hard issues of physical policy and other matters. He was really at it. So why do I say the stars are aligned? The stars are aligned because it is also the first time in Kenya's history that we have a scientist as a president. And therefore, if scientists have something to pursue, you may never get a better moment than this one. This is a good opportunity so that we can have sufficient emphasis on matter science, because you have one of you sitting at the highest office in our country. The second thing I just want to touch on very quickly, as we thank UNESCO and all the people involved, is that this is a very significant development because it also blends in with the initiative around the African Union on some very critical areas. Apart from repatriation, there's also the raging debate that is not easy to deal with about reparations. And all this is a step towards resolving some of those bigger challenges. And our president is the champion of the African Union reform issues, and this again gives him an insight into other areas that may require fresh attention. Finally, Your Excellency, just to assure you that we will work well with the department, which has done so well in bringing us here this afternoon, so that we can all celebrate this very important achievement by the people of Kenya in collaboration with our partners in being able to get the Gedi ruins to this level. The other thing, for me it's a first. I thought I had seen vaults in banks. Today, I realized that the past can also be guarded even more securely than money in a bank vault by the National Museum. So we really want to congratulate you and your team for preserving this heritage. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can all be upstanding so that we can invite His Excellency the President to make his address to us and share his encounter as a scientist. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PCS. Please let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to join you this afternoon as we celebrate the inscription of the Gedi ruins onto the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization's list of World Heritage Sites. This event offers us a unique opportunity to highlight the monument's exceptional universal value as a global treasure of culture, historical, and educational significance. The people of Kenya take immense pride in being custodians of magnificent sites of global importance inscribed onto the UNESCO World Heritage List. This includes, as we were shown here, the Sacred Kaya Mijikenda Forest, Lamu Old Town, Fort Jesus National Monument, Thinlich Hoinga Archaeological Site, the Kenya Lake System in the Great Rift Valley, Lake Turkana National Parks, and Mount Kenya National Park and Natural Forest. Together, these sites showcase our country's rich cultural and natural heritage. The addition of the Gedi National Monument to Kenya's heritage inventory reaffirms our commitment to preserving our historical and archaeological legacy for the benefit of humanity. I appreciate the impact of UNESCO World Heritage in championing the preservation of humanity's significant universal treasures. This recognition powerfully drives sustainable development, defines cultures, histories, and identities, enhances livelihoods, and promotes tourism. We are encouraged by the acknowledgement of our efforts in safeguarding the region's highest number of World Heritage Sites. At the same time, we are keenly aware of the benefits of holding these sites in trust for the present and also for future generations. Our ongoing effort to enhance the authenticity of heritage sites throughout the country aims to add more to this list, thereby strengthening Kenya's global stature as a premier tourism destination. Africa possesses an incredibly rich and dynamic culture and natural heritage. However, current heritage monument approaches often fail to align with African culture context, creating a disconnect between international heritage discourse and local realities. It is concerning that as a continent of 54 nations and 1.4 million people, Africa contributes only 147 listed elements representing just 10% of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. This raises questions about the fairness and maybe the methodology and foundations of current classification and listing mechanisms, suggesting that Africa may not be receiving equitable representation. Maybe I have also contributed to that problem by abandoning my scientific discourse and going and doing something else. Maybe if I were around to help my colleagues here, maybe we would be doing better. But I will see what I can do to make sure that we do better. I have listened to the Director General, Mary, and just for the record, I spent 3 years of my university education in the same class with Mary. And if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, possibly I could be somewhere in this building. Because many of my classmates ended up in scientific research institutions, in this institution, in Cambridge, and in others. So I am truly privileged to be here in this compound. I was reminding Mary, we came here for some of the lessons on human evolution. And Dr. Leakey took us through what it was that we were learning then. And I am very proud of the progress the National Museums has made, and I promise to make a contribution to further progress. I agree that we are not paying our scientists as we should. Many of them are under the public service, and therefore there is need to relook at their terms of service, their salaries, and therefore, as has been requested by the Director General here, I will get the head of public service to do the needful, to get a small team to give us an assessment of what needs to be done so that we can match the remuneration of other scientists around our region and maybe do better. I am not doing this because possibly I could become a beneficiary. Maybe when I'm done with what I'm doing, I could take up my scientific discourse here or in another place. But I think they truly deserve the hemorrhage, the attrition, the many scientists who have left our science ecosystem in Kenya is a testimony that there isn't something we are not getting right. So we should get it right, and I will undertake the needful, Director General and the people who work in this museum. Secondly, I agree with Edwin, the chair, Mr. Obonyo here, that we need to protect the assets and the resources and the sites that we have. And therefore, again, the government of Kenya is going to work with the ministry to make sure that we create the necessary resources for us to protect, fence, guard those sites. And thirdly, I've gone through the many assets and historical artifacts that we have, and I have seen their condition. That is not how they should be. They should be in a better environment, because we risk actually these very important assets going to waste. And therefore, I agree that we need to expand the physical facilities at the museum here and at Uhuru Gardens so that we can have appropriate storage and appropriate display of the wealth of historical assets that we have. Therefore, the Ministry of Madam Umi here, we're going to get you 1 billion shillings to start, because we need to develop another building here, and we need to expand a bigger building in Uru Gardens, so that all these things, we have them locked up in places, we can display them appropriately. And because the largest beneficiary of all this is the Ministry of Tourism, I will get some resources from the tourism promotion. I know where to get the money. So, I know who is going to pay for this. And I want to ask our partners, if we can together create a small fund. I am willing for all of us to put together, maybe Director General and the ministry, if you can put together a team that can help us, so that even as we put in resources as Government of Kenya, if we can also interest partners, friends. Neil has taken the first step in doing what he's doing. I'm sure we have in our midst friends and partners who share the past with us, friends who have goodwill for this nation. If we can put our resources together, maybe we can also ask UNESCO to help us mobilize some resources so that we can better protect this heritage, because it is good for Kenya, but it is good for humanity as well. So again, PCS, maybe you can put together a small team and invite our development partners to see what we can do together. It is encouraging that UNESCO shares these concerns, the ones I just stated, which have been raised by African Union and individual African states. In response, we have taken resolute actions to address these issues. With the support of UNESCO and the government of Japan, Kenya will have the honor of hosting the International Conference on Heritage Authenticity in May 2025. I eagerly anticipate the Nairobi Declaration on Heritage Authenticity, which will inform necessary changes and enhance Africa's heritage listing. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's natural and cultural sites, including the National Museum of Kenya, are among the most visited attractions, drawing both domestic and international tourists. The Nairobi National Museum, a world-class facility, houses one of Africa's largest scientific collections, with over 10 million curated items. These collections represent groundbreaking research whose impact extends beyond our borders. Kenya is globally recognized as the home of human origins because we host numerous archaeological sites where important scientific research has uncovered definitive fossil discoveries, helping us understand the story of early humans. The government of Kenya remains committed to promoting Kenya's global profile as the first home of humanity through relevant ministries, departments, and agencies. Today, as we celebrate Gedi's inclusion on the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list, we also mark 40 years since the discovery of the Turkana boy, the most complete skeleton of the earliest human ancestor ever discovered anywhere in the world. I encourage everyone to visit our heritage sites and monuments and connect directly with humanity's rich past. The government of Kenya remains committed to conserving Kenya's heritage, including our national sites and monuments. Recent initiatives such as the construction of the seawall, Art for Jesus, rehabilitation of Gedi National Monument, and projects at Wajir Museum, Vasco da Gama Pillar, Thimlich Ohinga, Kariandusi and Hirax Hill, prehistoric sites attest to this dedication. I welcome partnerships and collaboration with our many friends, locally and internationally, to advance this and other efforts towards culture conservation and preserving the past so that it can inform the present and inspire the future. Tourism is a significant driver of our economy, contributing through job creation, foreign exchange earnings, and community development. In 2023, we welcome 2.1 million visitors, generating 352 billion in revenues. Our global appeal as a premier tourist destination is undeniable. We are mobilizing investment to attract, as was said by the Minister, 5 million tourists annually by 2027, and events like this play a crucial role in achieving this target. Cultural preservation remains central to our tourism strategy. With over 40 ethnic groups, Kenya offers an unparalleled diversity of cultural experiences. Cultural tourism, therefore, drives economic growth and at the same time strengthens our global connections. Additionally, our visa-free policy facilitates international visitors, enhancing Kenya's appeal as a top destination for leisure and business. The National Museums of Kenya is advancing the national product industry, a Vision 2030 flagship project to harness indigenous knowledge for economic growth. Guided by the Protection of Traditional Knowledge and Cultural Expressions Act 2016, this project has trained stakeholders in documentation and digitization, creating country digital registers linked to the Indigenous Knowledge Innovation Bank. This platform enables communities to manage access, negotiate rights, and share benefits, unlocking income opportunities. I thank everyone whose efforts contributed to the inscription of Gedi National Monument on the World Heritage List. I appreciate the dedicated support of UNESCO World Heritage Committee and the National Museums of Kenya in conserving our heritage. And between me and my good friend Gideon Mungaro, the governor of Kilifi, we agreed that we are going to do a wall around Gedi, right? And he has already provided resources to make sure that there is an appropriate road to the place. So I have just committed, and the people at the ministry, we must do a wall in to protect that site. It's only 40 acres, is it? Yeah, 40 acres is not much. It will cost us about 15 million shillings. So tutafanya hiyo, si ndio? Waziri, umesikia? Mwende mufence. So let us build on this achievement and reaffirm our commitment to preserving Kenya's heritage for humanity, for now and for the future. And maybe to wind up by saying we have many more sites that actually qualify to be cultural and heritage sites around Kenya. We must work together to find a mechanism for us to support the different actors and to work with UNESCO so that those can join the list of what the world assets and world heritage that Kenya can contribute to the wealth of knowledge about humanity, about culture, to the world wealth about all these things. So if there is anything that we need to do, I would want to know so that we can do it together. As Prime Cabinet Secretary has said, it's not always that you have a scientist as president. So I am happy to be, and I am a very proud scientist, that we can do this and we can make a contribution to the success and the progress of our nation. Again, to all of you, congratulations. To my colleagues who work at the National Museums of Kenya, congratulations. I would have been one of you if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But I'm very happy to be here this afternoon, and I look forward to coming back so that we can again do what we must do around this compound. And Mary here, we have agreed we meet Mary, yeah? We agreed that we meet so that she can brief me on the things that we need to do around the museum, and we can catch up, Cindy. Yeah, because it's a very proud moment for me. In fact, when her name was brought to my list, to my desk for appointment as the Director General, I asked myself, is this Mary the one I know? And I actually called her, and I asked her, did you apply to be? I was very happy that to appoint my own classmate. You know, that's quite something. So I'm really happy to be at the National Museum. Earlier, you may not know, earlier somebody in my office was telling me, why delegate this? Because I had too many meetings and there is one waiting for me. But I told them, this one is personal. This one I cannot delegate. Yeah, it involves people who I share a background with. So again, congratulations to UNESCO, congratulations to Kilifi. And I know this function would have been best if it was done in Kilifi. I'm sure we will do another one in Kilifi. Yes. Let me again, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, congratulate the UK for making those artifacts available to the people of Kenya and for giving us information that would enrich the relationship between Kenya and the UK. Difficult as it is, complicated as it is, but I have told you one thing, I've said one thing in your presence, that we have many complaints against the British because of colonialism and many other things. But we also have something to thank them for. They left one thing in Kenya that works, and that is a system of government. We have a solid administration system that supports the governance of our country. I have said before, and I will say it again. We appreciate that we inherited a system of government that goes all the way to the grassroots and that works for all of us. Many people have tried to get rid of the so-called national administration. But every other time we discuss we discuss how it can be abolished, the more it becomes a reality that we cannot, because it helps in the governance of the country. So again, I must appreciate on behalf of the people and government of Kenya, the gesture that you have demonstrated is very much welcome, and it consolidates the relationship between our two nations. And as I discussed with the Prime Minister, that we are going to expand, we're going to deepen the relationship between Kenya and the UK. Already we have an agreement on a trade agreement between our two countries that facilitate exports of products from Kenya into the UK, that facilitates trade between our two countries. And we are very proud of the relationship we have with the UK. I want to thank all the other ambassadors. We value your friendship. Thank you very much for making time to come and celebrate this moment with us. And I look forward to working with you, from our friends from France, from Germany, from Oman, from Japan, from China, from Australia, from Eritrea, our neighbors here, and all the other ambassadors. Forgive me if I didn't mention your country. We are very proud that we have this relationship with your countries, and we look forward to strengthening the relationship between Kenya and your countries as we build what is now becoming a global village, that all of us are part and parcel of one another. So thank you very much, and congratulations again, National Museums, for this achievement. Thank you.
A round of applause for His Excellency, and may we take our seats briefly. The icing on the cake, Your Excellency, in chair to just flank you as we now hand over the migrated archives together with the certificate, which is history that is being made at this point in time. I'll request that